What? I just didn't, anytime that someone drops names, it's tough for me to take them seriously because I'm like, I need to know what your credentials are, not your firm's. So that's always my problem.
Okay. Come on, Pam.
How do you do?
Hey, how are you?
Morning.
Frank.
Morning.
The president
Frank
of
Hammeronline,
Green
I'm
Acres.
president of Green Acres Woodward
great.
Civic
Right here.
Association.
Thank you.
I know this guy. How you doing? You're this former
right.
State Fair.
I know, right here.
Yeah, that's right.
This is Pam Brown, one of our teachers
nice
and
to
member
meet
of
you.
Nice to
President
meet
of Green
you.
Acres, and
Thank you.
Bina, one of our biggest proponents for the state fair.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hi, Tammy Self, Boulevard Association.
Yeah.
We met a little while ago.
Yeah, how are you?
Good to see you.
Oh, excellent. Hey, how are you?
Karen Hammer.
This is Frank's
Hello.
wife, Karen. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
It's great. We got all the community.
Well,
Community groups.
there are a few others coming, but I guess
We've loved this property for many years.
Yes.
That's
We-
She plants
She
flowers
feathered-
here.
she
I
feathered
planted,
the flowers.
I
She
planted
feathered
the
the
garden
flowers.
up
That's
there
right.
the
Oh, that's
last
nice.
year.
That's right.
All by
Here comes
myself,
Kim
my own
Candy.
funds and my own, just so that people could see how we planted gardens. Kids came through and they, oh, look what we could do.
Oh, that's
That
nice.
was my purpose.
Yeah.
Well, we know you're busy.
Yeah,
We
well,
gotta get
excellent.
that.
Well, thank you.
Run
I
the
want to say
state.
hello.
it's just to tell them this is a history of what we've been trying to do.
Yeah.
And we don't know if he ever saw it or not.
Are we missing any of the association people? We're just having all
Okay, all right. You guys can just maybe even double right behind them. You know, once they're going to be standing part of the time.
Well,
It needs to go home.
we're going to work together.
Thank you. I need to go to that.
No casinos over here.
Put that right in the bill.
You're
Down on that one.
You're being Virgil took care of that.
She can go in front. She's going this way. She just need it. She just need it.
I'm not, I'm not afraid of
Whenever,
Oh, I know. Even if they bite.
Let's get everybody over here so we're in.
too long.
Kind of center on the governor here. Thank you.
Stand in here, no?
Well, good morning. Wow, that's a sound. Got good sound quality here. It's great to be out, and it's a wonderful day to do an outdoor event like this, a great place and a great opportunity. So I'm very pleased to be here today, to have the opportunity to sign the bill about taking the state fairgrounds and hopefully having the opportunity to put it in the state land bank for future development. And I know there are people interested in developing it, and it's one of these opportunities to say this was a bipartisan effort, and I want to thank Senator Smith and Representative Womack for their hard work on this, along with their colleagues, to get this bill passed. But it's also about involving the community. As we go through the process with the land bank, it's also already prearranged that there'll be an opportunity to have a number of neighborhood groups, 6 different neighborhood groups, participate in an advisory board. And it's great to have representatives from those neighborhood groups with us today, so thank you for joining us. Because it is about really bringing Detroit back. And this is an opportunity to say, here's a parcel of land, over 160 acres. That can be redeveloped in a very positive, constructive way with residential opportunities, commercial opportunities, industrial opportunities, job opportunities, real community opportunities to integrate with the existing communities and make an even stronger partnership. So I'm very excited about that opportunity. So this is a great win for all of us. We've worked hard. This is only the starting point, though, that we're going to continue this process, and it's going to involve, again, the neighborhood groups, the state land bank, and we have representatives from those organizations here. And I want to give an opportunity to get some thoughts from the people that helped make this happen. So I'm going to ask both Senator Smith and Representative Womack if they'd like to add a few comments.
Thank you, Governor. I came to this with huge trepidation in my heart because I grew up over here. Come to the state fair when they had the actual fair going, and I played at the pirate ship and ate cotton candy and elephant ears and things of that nature. So I wanted to see it continue on, but the previous governor did not see that. So she line item vetoed the appropriation that we had at the time for the state fairgrounds back in 2010. So moving forward, when this administration, when Governor Snyder's team came to me and asked me to be a bill sponsor on this, I said, well, there's a few things that we got to do first. Once, it cannot be used as a racetrack, horse or auto. It cannot be a casino. It cannot be a freight rail yard or a prison. So they worked with us. They put that in the legislation. They also, for the neighborhoods that are in close vicinity here, University District, Palmer Woods, Golf Course, Sherwood Forest, and Green Acres, we made sure they were scripted out in the. They made sure they were scripted out in the bill, and we have an advisory council that will actually work with the land bank and make sure we get some good economic development over here, that our children could come to work and hopefully we could do something positive with the land. So thank you for being here. And
Thank you, Senator Smith. Thank you, Governor. I appreciate the opportunity to be involved in this exciting initiative. I believe it is a job-creating, neighborhood-stabilizing, urban revitalizing initiative. I am happy that the governor chose to make this a bipartisan effort. I'm happy that the citizens most directly impacted by this development in the neighborhoods associated with this development are here and had an opportunity to give their input. So I'd like to thank the governor, Senator Smith, our staffs, my colleagues in Lansing for all that they have done to help make this possible, and I hope this moves Detroit and southeastern Michigan forward. Thank you, Governor.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. And with that, we have both the bills sponsored by each one of these fine legislators. I'm going to sit down and we'll sign the Senate bill, the House bill, and make it happen. So thank you.
Chip doesn't count. Yeah, you like it. Reshuffling these so we get them in order, because there's a 2-minute rule between bills. I can't sign the bill until 2 minutes passes between. Yeah, I think it's intended in case I ever sign a bill that you're supposed to come to your senses before you sign the next one. That's not a problem here. I'm very happy to sign this. We'll come back and do some pictures and some questions and such.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're done. We're Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll take a few questions. In case you want to ask.
Now I'd be happy to open it up for questions, and we'll start as we always do on questions on the topic, please.
Governor, Governor, can we ask you a question? You mentioned things that you don't want to see and you do want to see, but is there a possibility that a new state fairgrounds could emerge here, or is that out of the way of new development?
It's not prohibited. What I would say is the normal process is it goes in the state land bank, and then there'll be a request for proposals to come forward from various development opportunities, and it could be almost any kind of development. So that is theoretically possible. I wouldn't expect it necessarily, but it could happen.
Governor, there are a few historic structures here, and there's some beautiful trees. Will they go down with the new development, or will they stay?
Well, again, that's something that would be part of the proposal, because again, there are beautiful trees. So that would be something that you'd hope people would look at in terms of the process. That would be part of the review process to be environmentally sound, because we want to have good green spaces in all our communities in some ways. So that would be something that would be taken into account.
Realistically, how soon do you hope to see something happen here? Is it going to continue to deteriorate?
No, I hope we'll see progress fairly quickly. See, our bills are already getting off to work.
Bring them back, baby.
See, we've got airmail today on this project. But as a practical matter, I think we'll see progress fairly quickly, because people have been aware, developers have been aware that we were working on a process to do this. And so I think people have had concepts or visions of what could be done with the fairgrounds. And so we just want to make sure we give enough people an opportunity to come. So that'll be part of the normal bid process.
Well, Governor, any of those visions percolating up yet? Or any ideas yet on what the neighborhoods would like to see, or what you kind of are envisioning here?
No, I wouldn't want to speculate on that, in fact. It's something that we'd want to work together with. Again, that's the point of having the advisory group, so we can make sure it's in line with the keeping of what people would like to see in the area, too, and have a good discussion about that.
Would the land go for a steep discount? What's the advantage of being in a land bank? What would a buyer developer get?
It speeds up the process in terms of the timeline to work through things, in terms of the title issues, the ability to transfer land, the ability to do redevelopment. So happy to have people from the land bank follow up with you after this if you want more information.
Governor, would there be some sort of a bidding process, or is it
Yeah.
sign the bill? Is it the first person to come in the door with a good idea?
No, it'd be a competitive proposal process. And again, that's where the advisory board could be part of that process to help review what's coming in, and there could be a decision-making process to say, of those bids, what is the best one in terms of what's the overall answer for the city in the area to redevelop. Because I view this as a great opportunity. Again, we have an opportunity to see hopefully new good commercial development, residential opportunities, a lot of good things going on in the city. And this is just a way to highlight and solidify that, because not often you see a parcel of this size.
Governor, what's the relationship between this and the consent agreement? I believe this property is mentioned in Annex D, correct?
Yeah, I believe that. Well, this is one of the first steps. We wanted to move forward with the agreement, and we said we wanted to be a good partner. So by doing this act, I think we're showing good partnership to say, let's get it kicked off. Let's go.
What about Belle Isle? Are you going to do something similar there?
Well, again, that's something that will come back to the mayor and city council, but we're putting together a way to have a dialogue with them to say, if they have an interest in making it a state park, we would be very interested in that, in the sense that the city could continue to own Belle Isle, because that's critically important. And I think that's in the hearts of most Detroiters, is they want to own Belle Isle. But as a practical matter, could it be leased to the state in some fashion where we could make it a state park? We actually have restricted funds quite often available for improvements in state parks, so we could actually do improvements on Belle Isle, have it available for the citizens of Detroit, the citizens of Michigan, and then free up dollar resources that are now currently going to Belle Isle that could help the neighborhoods or public safety or other needs in Detroit. So I think that's a great win-win opportunity, and I would hope that could be one of the faster ones we could process in terms of figuring out how to do that.
Governor, would it still be, if your state leased it, still be charging people to get on Belle Isle?
Well, again, if it's a state park, it has the passport program, where basically if people have that with their license plates, they basically go through, and that's part of that process. And that'd be something with the discussion of the city, how we could work with them on making that very easy. In terms of citizens of the city in particular, it's a special asset, so we want to be thoughtful about that.
Now, if it's a state park, does that mean that the state police will patrol it, or will it still be the responsibility of DPD?
Well, again, if it's still owned by the city would still have some jurisdiction, but as a practical matter, the state could also be involved in that process.
Governor, do you see any possibility of reviving a state fair?
I wouldn't exclude that because, again, it's a great event. I mean, the senator was talking about his own personal experience. I know lots of people that had great experiences at the state fair. And if you look at one success story I would mention is the UP State Fair. That's now done without state support. It exists. It's an exciting event. I was there last year, and it's very successful. So they've made that transition from the public doing the event to essentially having it through a quasi-public-private partnership, a partnership arrangement to succeed. And so that could happen at any time, any place.
Is that something that your administration is interested in pushing, or you're waiting for someone to bring some proposal to you?
Really, probably waiting more for proposals because, to be open with you, we're busy enough with a lot of other reinvention activities right now. So we're very open to having a dialogue, but we've got enough on our agenda right now that we want to get through.
Governor, can I ask you a question? As president of the association, Green Acres, I can assure you that most of the residents in these communities nearby want to see the resurrection of the state fairgrounds as a place where rural and urban come together on interests of technology in the state of Michigan. One question I would have for you is there's mention made of changing this into or having a commuter rail station in the state fair. This has been in the media, and I wonder if you would comment on that.
Well, that could be one potential opportunity. That could be included in the plans when people bid on it or as part of the outline. Because if you look at one of the things we want to look at is having better rail. And we essentially have made a lot of progress on that with real rail, not just light rail, which is what's being talked about for M1, but literally looking at rail going from Pontiac to Detroit all the way to Chicago. And so that is part of the process to say, could this be a commuter rail stop on that path? Because it's a natural location.
Are you meeting with Mayor Bing today?
No, I'm not meeting with the mayor today. Actually, I have meetings with people from the executive branch, though, of the city. But the mayor, again, with his health issues, I just want him to get well.
So you're meeting with Kirk Lewis?
I'm meeting with Kurt later today.
And how significant is that today?
Well, we're in discussions with the mayor's office almost every day. I mean, actually, that was the holiday weekend, so we didn't talk over the weekend, but people in our administration are talking to the executive branch in the city literally every day because we're working hard on things, for example, about finding good people for the Financial Advisory Board, you know, those other position openings. So we've already started that process.
Okay, thank you.
So, any other questions on other topics? Okay. Well, that's great. I think we're going to sit down and do a few photos. Thank you.